my first question is, this is really a major crisis for your country. What do you really believe about this situation?
This is a threatening situation for the peace and stability of the region. And if it stays like this, it can be classified as threatening the peace and security of the world. So this is a matter that should be highly considered at all levels, and this is why we are here making the tour to try to solve it quickly through the bilateral channels in order to avoid the escalation.
Does your country believe there is a risk to be plunged in some kind of regional or proxy war?
Yes, obviously, some countries are trying to solve their problems in Lebanon, and this before caused war in Lebanon, and that's why we want to avoid it. And we understand the claims of each country, looking for its own interests, but we don't want Lebanon to be used to settle accounts. We want Lebanon to have a role of solving problems between conflicting powers and countries, because if Lebanon can stay as such, he can have a positive role. If Lebanon will be used to settle accounts, the negative impacts will affect everybody. This will complicate more and more the situation. So I don't think it's in the interest of anybody to have an unstable Lebanon. We minimize the risks by having all our friends and raising the awareness everywhere to avoid that situation. The more we are aware, the less there is a risk of plunging into that situation, because a proxy war is by itself, by definition, a war that can move, since it is not related to the concerned country, so everybody can be affected by it, and it can spill over everywhere. And here in Italy, what does it mean to have proxy wars, and how much you are suffering, and you are paying high from what's coming to you from outside problems. What does Italy have to do with the problems in the Middle East, in Libya, in Syria? And why do an European country have to bear with the results of such conflicts? Why do you have, and do we have to allow countries to play with other countries in a way that you are hurt, we are hurt?
Are you meaning also the refugee crisis?
Of course. In Lebanon, you have 1.5 million Syrian displaced and 500,000 Palestinians. So when you disrupt the situation in Lebanon, these people are in a volatile situation where they can move because they are not settled in Lebanon. And if the situation is not calm, they will move from Lebanon. Where do they have to go? They cannot go back to Syria. They cannot go to Israel. Their only way is the sea, the Mediterranean.
There is a lot of pressure coming on your government because of Hezbollah, because of Iran. Is really Hezbollah the center of this? What is your analysis?
We cannot focus all the problems of the region on a group of Lebanon. So we cannot say that the war in Iraq and the war in Yemen and the war in Libya and the war in Syria and the conflict with Iran and the conflict with Saudi Arabia and the Israeli-Arab conflict started since 1948, and you cannot bear the responsibility on a small group in Lebanon. I think this has started long time ago, and those who have started it should be held responsible for it. So this is a way of escaping from the truth and putting the blame on others to justify the harm that is being caused.
Pardon, but Hezbollah is the only party in the Lebanese government with weapons. What about the risks for the government?
Yes, it is true, and the function of the arms as the government wants it for the protection of Lebanon. Other role for the weapons of Hezbollah is not approved by the Lebanese government, and this is a matter of internal dispute and of external dispute. But this is not the way to solve it. You don't solve the weapons of Hezbollah by having the Prime Minister of Lebanon resigning, you know, because the Prime Minister of Lebanon is not Hezbollah. He is from another party,
And how to solve
you know.
this problem?
So this way of solving issues by making others pay the price cannot be contained with the cost inflicted on the others, because again the cost will have a wider aspect, you know, and it will be inflicted on a wider range.